Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is a doubt that I've seen many people are raising against Islam. That reminds me when I was with the American Army on the 1992 when they came to Saudi Arabia, and I had the privilege of being with them for a period of time, and I witnessed by my eye hundreds of them rushing to become Muslims. They were hungry, thirsty for Islam. One of them was a great woman. She converted to Islam, but she was crying. Those fanatic, stubborn Christians, evangelists, they used to be reminding her about this hadith, that what cuts the prayer of the person is the woman, the dog, and the donkey. So they used to say to her, what about this hadith? You converted to Islam to accept something like this? Isn't it shameful that you convert yourself to a religion that makes the woman equal, having the same value of the dogs and the donkeys? She was crying for this. She's confident that this religion is true, but she could not give any answer to that. Yes, this narration is narrated authentically, but it was narrated in Bukhari under the title of "Nothing Cuts the Prayer of the Person." So now you wonder, if this hadith says if the woman cuts the prayer, so how come Bukhari puts this narration under the title "Nothing Cuts the Prayer"? That's very important. Now, it's been narrated in Sahih Muslim, hadith number 794, that Aisha radiallahu anha was told by people in her assembly that the Prophet said this. Then she said, are you making us equal to the donkeys and the dogs? Wallahi, I saw the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam performing the prayer, and I used to be sitting between him and his qibla, direction of prayer. Then, as he bows down in order to prostrate, he used to be moving away her leg a bit in order to be able to perform his sujood, prostration to Allah. Now that has another benefit. If the Prophet willed, he would have given order to the people in Medina, I want a wide house. Imagine this final messenger has a need to just move away the leg of Aisha in order to be able to have space for his prostration. Now, that is a benefit number 2. After the benefit number 1, that Aisha radiallahu anha was objecting against this narration that what cuts the prayer is the woman and the donkey and the dog. And her objection was against what people may think, that she may be cancelling the prayer. There's another narration narrated in Musnad Ahmad that the Prophet said, what cuts the prayer? The dog and the woman with period. So now when we have this hadith narrated by Aisha, now we want to know, how can we explain this hadith? The word cut, it means it diminishes the prayer. It makes it incomplete. It causes a fault problem in the prayer. As for the dog, it has its own reason. The Prophet said that the black dogs are devil. As he also says to the one who passes deliberately by a person who is praying, and the praying person, if he signaled on him to move away, but he persisted on passing by, the Prophet said, this person now he is devil. Now, in this particular attitude, he is devil. As for woman, it has her own purpose. Woman is a matter of attraction. She's attractive. So if a man prays and a woman passes by, she may attract him or distract him from his prayer. And that's what is meant by the word cut. So don't forget that Bukhari put that narration, that what cuts the prayer is the woman and the dog and the donkey. He put that narration under the title, quote, I'm quoting, من قال لا يقطع الصلاة شيء. Yani, he who had said that nothing cuts the prayer. And surprisingly, we're gonna narrate to you a hadith reported by the Prophet ﷺ, narrated by the Prophet ﷺ, that nothing cuts the prayer. So is this a contradiction? It is not contradiction, because since Aisha, the wife of the Prophet, used to be sitting between the Prophet and his Qibla, and in front of him while he's praying, she's lying down. So there is nothing, but the matter of value, it has nothing to do with the case now. If women are devalued, so they should never be intercepting or sitting or being in front of the praying person, then why the Prophet allowed Aisha to stay or to sit in front of him while he's praying? And he did not say to her, I have to repeat my prayer because you were standing before me in the prayer. This hadith narrated by Aisha, that she used to be sitting in front of the Prophet while he's praying, it's in Sahih Bukhari, hadith number 515. She used to say, I used to be lying down while the Prophet is praying, and I'm between him and his Qibla. Qibla is the direction of prayer. There's another hadith also regarding the cattle, the donkey. It's been narrated by Bukhari and Muslim, narrated by Ibn Abbas. He said, I came riding a small atan. Atan is a donkey. And I, at that time, used to be almost adult, which means he was something like 15 years old. And the Prophet was performing the prayer in Mina. Then I passed by him, and the donkey was eating some grass, and it passed by the Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet did not condemn anything about that. Which means it doesn't cut. Because if it cuts with the meaning you understand, that means the Prophet should have been repeating his prayer, but he didn't. And that is in Sahih Bukhari, volume 1, page 76, and by Muslim, hadith number 504. And the atan, we call it atan, is the female donkey kind of. And also narrated by Ahmad in his book Al-Musnad, volume 5, page 416, hadith number 3454. And it's been authenticated by Shu'aib al-Arnaut, who is the critically giving decision about the hadith. Is it authentic or not? So Shu'aib al-Arnaut, he said, it is authentic. What is that hadith? That the atan, the female donkey, used to be passing by the praying people in front of the Prophet ﷺ, and nothing cut their prayer. So cut, it means to diminish, to incomplete. It may cause a problem of distraction. And the Prophet allowed the donkey to keep tarta. Tarta means to keep eating the grasses in front of the people while they're praying. Now, this additional issue I mentioned about the Prophet and the companions left the donkeys keep eating from the grass in front of them while they're praying. This had been narrated by Sunan at-Tirmidhi, authentically, hadith number 337. And an Albani in Sahih Ibn Majah, hadith number 947, he said it is authentic. So it is very obvious here that it used to be eating in front of the Prophet and the companions while they're praying in front of them. And the Prophet did not mind this, and he did not say we should be repeating our prayer. So now we understand the meaning of the word cut. Now, the issue of equality. Are women equal to donkeys and dogs? The reason is the same of cutting, diminishing. The reason is the same. It doesn't mean that they have the same value. I'll give an example. But anyway, let's mention the hadith, okay? It's been narrated by Ibn Abi Shaybah, Salim bin Abdullah, the grandson of Umar. He said, Ibn Zubayr used to be leading us in the prayer, and a woman passed by us after we've been performing the second rak'ah. Yani we did not finish it. So Ibn Zubayr kept his prayer and he did not care about this. And as you see in Mecca itself, women pass by all people in the prayer time, or even if it's not in the prayer time, while they're praying. Women pass by and no one stopped his prayer or he said, let me repeat my prayer. No, that doesn't happen. So this narration about Ibn Zubayr, it's in Al-Musannaf, volume 6, page 60, and hadith number 8849. That's my edition, because there are many editions. And the footnoter said that it is highly authentic. Al-Baghawi, Quran commentator, and he is one of the leaders of Ahl Sunnah, he collected these narrations and he said these narrations prove that if the woman passes by in front of the praying person, it does not cut their prayer. And this had been agreed by mass majority of all scholars, starting from Sahaba, then Tabi'een, then all other scholars, that nothing cuts the prayer. That means it cancel the prayer. No. He mentioned this in his book, Sharh al-Sunnah, second volume, page 461. And that is why they had to give the real meaning, ta'wil, for this hadith by saying that being distracted by woman in the prayer, it may consequate the cancellation of the prayer. And what is meant by the word cut the prayer is the distraction of heart in these issues. It doesn't mean necessarily the cancellation of the prayer. And the jumhur of the scholars on this, and they did not consider the hadith as one of the cancellations of the prayer. You know, there are many things that cancel the prayer. If you go to the books of fiqh, you never find that among the things that cancel the prayer, you know, there are things that notify wudu, things that notify the prayer. You will never find that what notify the prayer is a woman that passes by. You will not find this. So that is why An-Nawawi, he said that Imam Ahmad, he was a well-known scholar, he said, Ahmad said that cutting the prayer by the dog and the woman, but in my heart there's something against cutting the prayer by woman and the donkey, because there are other narrations. So he was scanning these narrations and it ended up with him that it does not, the woman and the donkeys do not cut the prayer. As for the dog, as I mentioned before, it has another issue. But anyway, our subject here, does the woman cut the prayer? The answer is no. Is woman devalued? The answer is no. So what is meant here? The matter of attraction that may cut your focusing with Allah in the prayer. It may distract you, divert you, because a prayer is a matter of a contact. Unlike what people do nowadays, they don't consider the matter of contact. They consider the matter of you're ordered to do, so do. You're ordered to pray, then pray. No, but the prayer is a matter of contact between you and God Almighty. So that is why what cuts the prayer means what cuts that contact in your prayer with Allah. That is why Imam Ahmad said it doesn't. Baghawi said it doesn't cut. Bukhari, in his title, in Sahih Bukhari, he said, women do nothing. He said nothing cuts the prayer. So as I said, the subject of cutting, yes, there is equality to be means of cut, but it doesn't mean those means are equal. I'll give an example. The Prophet ﷺ said, you will be seeing Allah. As you are seeing now clearly the moon in the very dark night, or the sun when there is no cloud. As you see these two things clearly, you'll be seeing Allah. So tell me about the seen things, the sun and the moon. If I say that you'll be seeing Allah as you see them, do I give equality between Allah and the sun and the moon? No. The animal and human being, they have a common term of having the need for food, for drink. So the common term between us, does it make them equal? The answer is no. That is why it was very smart attention given by Aisha when she said, are you making us equal with the dogs and the donkeys? I swear by Allah that I was sitting between the Prophet and the Qibla while he was praying. So she wanted to pay the attention of people that, look, this is not what you may think. Will the devil attack you in his whispering, suggestions? Because the moment you hear this hadith, the devil will be coming to you and say, see, what kind of religion is this? This is devaluing for women, etc., etc. Now there is narration here that the prayer should be repeated by the passing by of the donkey, the woman, and the black dog. Now this hadith is very clear that the woman cut the prayer, and the prayer should be repeated. But the hadith is not authentic. It's been narrated by Muhammad ibn al-Walid. One person authenticated him is Ibn Hibban, and we know that Ibn Hibban is not strict. He is known with his permissiveness, considering people to be trustworthy while they're not. So Ibn Hibban has a problem in this. I had to give these details. They had not been mentioned to you in English. You won't find them in English. I'm not praising myself, but these things have to be translated into English. How many are being affected by those doubts thrown to them by those Christians who say to them, what about this? So we say that this hadith, yes, it is very obvious that the prayer should be repeated, but the hadith is not authentic. That narration is not authentic. It is shadh. تفرد به محمد بن الوليد. Those who speak Arabic, they understand what I mean. This narration had not been known except by this person, Muhammad ibn al-Walid. So what he brings, unknown narration, which had been known only by him, should not be accepted. So the hadith is clear that you should repeat the prayer, but it's not authentic. There is also another narration narrated by Bakr, that the son of Umar, he repeated the prayer because a small pet, a small dog that passed before him in his prayer. Now this narration is also shav because it went against the authentic narration narrated by the three trustworthy narrators who have been narrating by Ibn Umar, Nafi' and Salim. Those are trustworthy people, and their narration is the contrary of this narration. So this narration is shav. So alhamdulillah, there is no authentic narration that says repeat the prayer if a dog or a woman or a donkey passes by. As a matter of fact, what I brought now is the contrary, that the Prophet didn't mind donkeys passing by as they pass by, and they keep eating from the grass in front of the Prophet while he's praying. He didn't say let's repeat. So not cancelling the prayer should be meaning necessarily that it's talking about distraction, not cancellation. Now, there is another hadith which is very important. It has a slight weakness, but with a combination of the ways of that narration, it ended up to be Hasan, and Hasan means authentic. What does it say? It's been narrated by Hudayfa that he said لا يقطع الصلاة شيء وادرؤوا ما استطعتم. He said nothing cuts the prayer. This Hudayfa is the companion. He said nothing cuts the prayer, but try to avoid whatever you can. It had been narrated by Al-Musannaf for Ibn Abi Shaybah, second volume, page 530. And the hadith is number 2900, 2900. And also in the book Sharh Ma'ani al-Athar for At-Tahawi, narration number 2464. And this is authentic narration, narrated by Az-Zabarqan. And he had been authenticated by Ibn Hibban in his book The Trustworthy People, Al-Thiqat, volume 6, page 304. So this narration is authentic. Briefly, that those who said that the woman and the donkey and the dog do not cut any of the prayer are the two caliphs, Uthman and Ali, and Ibn Umar, and Ibn Zubayr, and Ibn Abbas, and Aisha. All of those, they had agreed that nothing cuts the prayer. Also, Urwa ibn Zubayr, he said nothing cuts the prayer except blasphemy, disbelief. And also Qasim ibn Muhammad, he said nothing cuts the prayer, and Allah is closer to you than anything else. Ash-Sha'bi, he said, according to the book of Al-Musannaf, and there are two books Musannaf, they carry the same title, but one is for Ibn Abi Shaybah and the other one is for Abdul Razzaq. This narration by Ash-Sha'bi, the great scholar of Ash-Sham at that time, he said nothing cuts the prayer, but try to avoid whatever you can, if it's possible. Whenever it's possible, try to avoid. Narrated by Al-Musannaf for Ibn Abi Shaybah, narration number 2895, and Al-Musannaf for Abdul Razzaq, narration 2363. And also Sa'id ibn Musayyab, another tabi'i. Tabi'i is the one who witnessed and took from the companions, yet he did not see the Prophet. Sa'id ibn Musayyab, he said, nothing cuts the prayer. The same thing. And try to avoid whatever you can, whenever you can. Musannaf for Abdul Razzaq, narration 2367. And also Sa'id ibn Musayyab, he said the same thing. He said al-fujur, abomination. It cuts the prayer. And what covers the prayer is piety, God-fearing. He mentioned Abu Nu'aym mentioned this in his book Al-Hilya, second volume, page 163. Ibn Sirin asked Ubaidah, what cuts the prayer? He said the same thing, abomination, and what completes the prayer is righteousness and piety. And Ibrahim al-Nakhi, let's end with this. It's been narrated by Al-Musnad for Ibn al-Ja'd, narration number 639. Ibrahim al-Nakhi is one of the greatest scholars and tabi'een. He said nothing cuts the prayer. So, as a result, nothing cuts the prayer. It may affect the prayer. It may distract people. It cuts the connection between you and Allah in the prayer. And that has a great meaning and great benefit. That prayer is a connection, a divine connection that you establish in your prayer. And nothing should be distracting you. So what cuts the prayer, it means what cuts the contact between you and Allah in the prayer. Now, let's see what Christians have about women. In the 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 11, it says, men should not cover their head because they are the image of God and His glory. But as for woman, she's the glory of man. Because man was not created for woman, but women were created for man. 1 Corinthians, as I mentioned. So she's not the glory of God. Man is the glory of God. Well, is this bad? It is, but wait for the worst. Paul, former Jew, who became suddenly a student of Jesus, disciple of Jesus, despite he did not see Jesus. Anyway, that's another issue. He said, as for every woman that prophesy and her head is not covered, she is defiling her head. and she is with the shaved one the same. So any woman who does not cover the head, then you should shave the whole hair. Yani she becomes zalabatta. There's nothing. As we say in Arabic, zalabatta. Zalabatta, no piece of hair on the head. So she should be having the same thing. In the book of Zechariah, chapter 5, verse 8, a woman was sitting down in the midst of people. Then an angel appeared and he said, "This is the evil. This is the evil." Wow. And also it says if a woman has, menstruation and she's period, everyone touches her. He is dirty. If you touch a woman, shake hands with your wife, for example. We don't allow shaking hands with stranger women because we view that touching may lead to another touching, a greater touching, step by step. So we close that step of the devil. It doesn't mean devaluing women, no. Okay? Especially, no one should be telling you that the hands of women are so soft. And the hand of the woman is so soft, so when you touch the softness, that may attract you to touch another kind of spot of softness, etc., etc. Sorry. Beg your pardon. Alright, so whoever touches her is a dirty until the night. Why dirty until the night? If he uses the soap before the night, doesn't this remove the dirtiness? No. Even if you use the soap, you're still dirty until the sun sets. Is the sun soap? Is the sun powder? What are you talking about? Strange. And everything she sits upon will be dirty. And everyone touches her sheets. He should be washing his clothes and bathe himself. Even though he will remain to be dirty until the evening. Not afternoon, no, evening. And every person touch any of her belongings that she sits upon must wash his clothes, and he should be taking a bath with water, and he will remain to be dirty until the night. The book of Leviticus, chapter 15, verse 19. In the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 5, pass by the city behind Judah. Hit, slay, smash, smite. Don't let your eyes spare. Don't ever forgive the old and the young, the virgin, the child, the woman. Kill for annihilation. Kill for destruction. Fill the houses with deads. Let the houses be filled with deads. Wow. Does this give any value for women? I don't think so. Also, it says that God said to Moses, you should avenge to the people of Israel against the Midianites. The people of Israel, they attacked the Midianites and they killed every single man. Not man, every male gender, that's what it means. But they have taken the women for themselves and their children, and they have spoiled all their farms, all their stocks, all their cattle, all their wealth, and they burned all their cities with fire. Wow. Then it's been said, now kill every male of children and every woman that had known man by sleeping with man. Kill her. Kill all children of woman. Kill all children. But as for the woman that had not been known with sleeping with anyone, keep them for you. Enjoy. Take them for you. Yeah, enjoy life. And I wonder, this stupid guy called Ismail, and he said, I used to be Muslim, and I reverted from Islam to back to Christianity because Islam talks about taking slaveries and concubines. That's why I had to leave Islam and come back to Christianity. Did you come back to Christianity? Did you check the book of Numbers, chapter 31, verse 1? Did you? Where are you going to go now? We expect you afterwards to convert to Buddhism or Hinduism, because the reason that caused you to leave Islam now, it's in Christianity already, Mr. Ismail. So, what evil they have is ever worse than what they thought is to be evil in our sources. Thank you very much. I hope that was beneficial. Assalamu alaikum.